Hello, everybody. This is Mrs. Johnson from Phoenix High School. Right now, we're going to look at ways to actually organize your weekly assignments. Being able to do this will help you feel more successful. So, one way to do this is actually to look at weekly calendars. Hint, on Friday, when all of your new materials are posted by your teachers, that is the day to go through and make a calendar for the following week so you're not spending a lot of time on Monday trying to figure out what you're going to do. Let's go ahead and look at a couple different options that we've come up with to help you guys make those weekly calendars. So, one way that you can really easily make a weekly calendar is just by going into Google Docs and making up a weekly calendar example, and then I'm going to do it by class. So, what I could do is, let's say I have an English class. I'm going to type in English 11 here, and then maybe I want to work on my math on Tuesday. So I'm going to put in Algebra 2. Maybe I have a biology class, and I want to work on my agriculture class. And maybe I also want to work on my art class as well. So I'm actually going to go down here and make it so I can have multiple classes in one day. And let's go ahead and make that formatting match. So by doing that, what I'm easily able to do then is separate out the different classes that I am dealing with. US. So for English 11, let's say this week I need to read a speech. So I'm going to write read speech. And then from there, I need to fill out a worksheet as in the speech. So this really took me almost no time at all to make. But what it's doing, and as you can see, is I'm able to go through here and at a quick glance, I am able to figure out what I need to do for each class, and it makes things feel a lot more manageable. And then instead of waiting until Friday, Saturday, or even Sunday before things are due and then having to panic. So breaking things down like this is going to make life a lot easier for you. You'll notice that on my example, I left myself a note telling me to make sure that all my materials are turned in from the previous week, since for our school, we have all of our assignments due on this Monday after the week that you're supposed to have been working on the assignments. And then I left myself another note on Friday to say, please make sure to leave a calendar for the next week so that I make that calendar in advance so I'm not scrambling to do it. Again, this won't take you a ton of time, but it will save you a lot of time and possibly stress in the future. Another way that I put the weekly calendar together, very similar to this, but a little bit different, is instead of dividing it up by class, what I would do is divide it up by task. So there's a couple ways that you could do this. The first way is to put your easiest assignments on Monday and Tuesday so that you very easily get them done with and you feel accomplished for the week already. And then you would put your harder assignments on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday so that it is easier for you than to really buckle down because you know you only have a couple things left in order to do. One thing different on this calendar is I put an estimated time for the task so that I know that if I think this assignment's going to take an hour, then I am going to be able to know I'm going to need to spend at least that amount of time on that day. The opposite way that you could do this is actually doing the harder assignments first so that you get the hardest ones out of the way, and then going ahead and doing the easy tasks at the end when you don't have to spend as much energy on them. Again, I have my reminders for me down here. Once you have made your weekly calendar, it's a really good idea then to go in and make a daily to-do list. Now, I am a big fan of sticky notes, and I just like to write my task list down on a sticky note. There's nothing more satisfying than crossing off things on that list. I don't know if you know, though, you also have a built-in task list. And you can get this when you open up a Google Doc. So let's go ahead and look at that. You go into your Google Doc, and over here on the side, you'll notice that you have a link to your calendar. I have a link to Google Keep, which is a way to kind of take notes. And then there is a Google Task List. Now, some of you may not see this, and that may be because it is pushed in. Just find the little arrow at the bottom that says Show Side Panel, and it will show up. So in this Google Task, this is a really easy way to make these lists. And what's nice is you can make a variety of lists if you need. So I have a home to-do list. Let's go ahead and pretend that I have some homework to do, though. So I'll click on my schoolwork list. And it's really easy to do this. So I said I need to make my organizational calendar. I need to finish English 11 homework, do a physics assignment, and complete materials on Khan Academy. I also need to make sure that I research the life cycle of a tomato. Okay, now, so it's really easy. You just simply go to add the task. The other thing that's really nice about this, you'll notice there's an edit button on the side. You can click on that and you can add that date and time that it needs to be due. And if it is a task that needs to be repeated, you could just set it up to repeat. So every Friday, you could set up a task to make that calendar or that weekly calendar worksheet list for yourself. Let's say that this assignment is going to be due on May 6th. So I have now a timer on it. And from there, what's really nice is see where it says add subtasks. This is my English 11 analyzed speech. I know that I need to read the speech. I need to annotate the speech. I need to fill out the worksheet. And I need to make sure I turn it in on Google Classroom. So that is done. I have put all those subtasks in, and then I'm just going to go back to my main list, and you'll notice under the subtasks, I can literally go through and mark as complete and click these off, but it breaks it down for me, so it makes it a lot easier. And I also now have this timer. This is now attached to my Google Classroom or calendar, and it will then send a reminder to me to do it. So by setting this up, it will automatically connect to that Google Calendar and then remind you to do what is on your weekly list, which is really, really nice. From there, I've got a couple tips on prioritizing work to meet those deadlines if you didn't want to do it by class. So remember, estimate the time it's going to take to complete all of the assignments and then assign the tasks for each day. So because there are 5 days that I know I'll be working on this homework, I would say, okay, there's 6 hours of homework, so I need to divide that up amongst the 5 days, and I can decide, okay, well, I've got more energy on Monday, so I'm going to do 2 hours of work on that day and an hour of work each of the subsequent days. Please make sure to chunk your assignments into manageable pieces. This is what we were talking about with those subtasks. If it's a really big assignment, break it down into smaller chunks and it won't seem so formidable. And then you can also click off those that you have completed the little pieces as you go. And again, don't wait until the last minute to get started, because that is where you are going to panic and shut down. You guys have got this. I completely believe in you. If you need any help, feel free to reach out to me. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you. And I will talk to you all soon.